Why was there light? Because it depends on how deep that word is in him. So the reason why his word comes to pass is because his attitude toward was not surface. His attitude toward was so strong that words had become his identity. That is the highest goal of words. The purpose of word is for word to become your identity. Unfortunately, many of us, we just use words as if it's separated from us. If you are living your life as if your words are different from you, are separated from you, you are only using word to deceive people, to describe something, to say something that is not real with you, you have failed yourself. Because the purpose of word is to make word become flesh. It's for you and the word to become one. It is when the word and you have become one, when you and your word are one, when your word is you and you are your word, that is when you speak, and anything you speak come to pass. The authority your words carry depends on how much that word has become part of you. Depends on the weight of that word that you realize that you carry. How much that word is one with you. The reason why God said, let there be light, and there was light, is because that word and God, they have become one. They are so united. They are so melted in one another. That is why he said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word melted together. The Word was one, united with God. And that's why that Word could say everything, and everything it said could come to pass. And that is why that Word could be repronounced. Let there be trees, let there be firmaments, let there be sky, let there be space. Everything God speaks from with that word, everything you pronounce, it comes to pass. What makes that to be true? You don't have to be a believer. Either you are a believer or you are a non-believer. If you live by this principle, that you are so one, you have integral. You have become integral with your word. You have become one with your word. You have made the word that you speak, the word that you live by, to become part and parcel of your life. You are indivisible with your word. You have integrity of your word. You have oneness. You have oneness with your word. You don't even need to pray. Any word you produce like this, they become established, because that is the nature of God. It is in the nature of God that if a man will become one with the identity of his word, his word carry weight, his word carry authority, and his words come to pass. He doesn't need to pray, he doesn't need to curse, but it is the nature of God. It is a law. If you could become one with your word, if the integrity and the oneness and the oneness you have, your word has become your identity. Your word has become your person. It comes to pass. It reflects. It has more power on human beings. Whatever you speak, they have effects on human souls. Whatever you speak. Why is it that some people speak and their words don't have effect on other men? Why is it that some people speak and their words don't have weight? Because they have not become one with our word. But when you have become one with your word, when you have become integrated with your word, when there is no difference between you and your word, to what degree you have become one, to that degree is authority that your word carries. That is why God could say, let there be light, let there be light. Everything came to pass. Why? Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word has become part of God. And so that everything that was said, that was created, was not created without that Word. Everything was created through that Word. So one of the greatest work you could do upon your life is to work on the word, is to make word become flesh in you. That is why even with Jesus, the reason why he became an authority and the reason he could pray, he could say anything and everything was coming to pass, because the word was not separated from him. He didn't just have the word in his mind. He didn't just have word in his lip. He didn't just have word in his mind, in his ear. He didn't just speak and think of words. Words lived in him. These words were one with him. These words, he was one with this word. So any word he spoke, because the word has become flesh in him. The word was not coming to visit him once in a while only. He was not just coming and thinking of what to say and thinking of how to say good words sometimes. No, he was living with the words. The word were part of him. He was one part and parcel of the word. There were oneness and unity with the word all the time. So anytime he speaks it, the word reflects him. Unfortunately, many of us today, we are only using words to cover who we are. We use words to send deceptive message, wrong message or wrong message, but we just send our words to cover us. But that is the more detrimental your life will be, because you have separated yourself from what makes everything come to pass. Because everything that we see, visible and invisible,